You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 19th of May. As shadows of war fade, Indian Army details Operation Sindoor's triumph over Pakistan. Bangladesh seeks dialogue as India imposes trade curbs. And Sri Lanka's Tamil women still await justice 16 years after civil war ends. And now for all the details. As the fog of war lifts, the Indian Army is shedding light on Operation Sindoor's triumphs. In a striking demonstration in Amritsar, the Army showcased how its air defence units, armed with Akash missiles and L-70 guns, thwarted Pakistan's audacious attempt to strike the Golden Temple on May 8th. With Pakistan's aggression exposed, India is now also sending 7 diplomatic teams worldwide to highlight Islamabad's terror links. We have a report.
As fog of war tends to subdue, Indian Army on Monday held a demonstration and showcased the air defence prowess used to combat airstrikes coming from Pakistan. In a demonstration held at Amritsar, the forces showcased a demonstration of Akash missile system, L-70 air defence guns, saved the Golden Temple in Amritsar and cities of Punjab from Pakistani missile and drone attacks. According to Major General Kartik C. Seshadri, General Officer Commanding, GOC, of the 15th Infantry Division, intelligence reports had indicated that Pakistan was likely to target Indian military installations and civilian sites, with the Golden Temple being a prime focus due to its cultural and religious significance. In response, the Indian Army mobilized additional modern air defense assets to provide comprehensive protection to the Golden Temple, General Seshadri added. Pakistan launched an attack using UAVs, UCAVs and long-range missiles targeting multiple locations across Punjab, along with Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan and even Gujarat. The Indian Army's air defense units, prepared for such an eventuality, acted swiftly, thwarting the attack. Notably, reports have indicated that at least 2 artillery rockets intercepted were on a trajectory to hit the Golden Temple. The divisional commander warned the action has only been halted. If such actions are repeated by Pakistan, it will invite a suitable response from Indian forces.
Knowing that Pak Army does not have any legitimate targets, we anticipated that he will target Indian military installations, civilian targets, including religious places. Of these, Golden Temple appeared to be the most prominent. We also received credible intelligence that Golden Temple is a prime target, which we had brainstormed earlier. We mobilized additional modern air defense assets to give a holistic air defense umbrella cover to Golden Temple.
Meanwhile, in an effort to display Pakistan's role in supporting terrorism and highlight India's policy of zero tolerance on terrorism on the global stage, Indian government this past weekend formed 7 multi-party delegations which will visit various countries in this regard. The 7 groups led by Shashi Tharoor, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Sanjay Kumar Jha, Baijayant Panda, Kanimoji Karunanidhi, Supriya Sule, and Shrikant Eknath Shinde will have 8 other members, including former ambassadors, as part of the group. The groups are expected to depart later this week, with each group visiting 3 to 4 countries as part of the government outreach event.
As tensions looms between New Delhi and Islamabad, Pakistan faces increased financial scrutiny from international institutions, with the International Monetary Fund imposing fresh conditions for future loans. The IMF's latest staff-level report reveals that 11 new conditions have been imposed, bringing the total tally to 50 under the ongoing $7 billion Extended Fund Facility and Climate-Linked Resilience and Sustainability Facility. According to the IMF report, Islamabad needs to secure parliamentary approval of Rs 17.6 trillion federal budget as per IMF's projections by the end of June 2025. The conditions also include the removal of a cap on the debt service surcharge on electricity bills, which could lead to higher power tariffs for consumers. Additionally, the global lender has directed the provincial governments to implement agricultural income tax laws, apart from fresh conditions on the energy sector. IMF has also called on Pakistan to lift restrictions on the import of used vehicles up to 5 years old, along with phasing out all incentives for special technology zones and industrial parks by 2035. While Islamabad projects a defence budget exceeding rupees 2.5 trillion reportedly in response to what it terms India's naked aggression, the IMF places it slightly lower at 2.414 trillion rupees. In a rare geopolitical acknowledgement, the IMF also flagged growing regional instability, stating that rising tensions between India and Pakistan, if sustained or deteriorate further, could heighten risks to the fiscal, external and reform goals of the program. Notably, the IMF was under flake from India after it approved the transfer of $1 billion as part of the bailout program to Pakistan, amid the tensions between both countries. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh stated, by funding Pakistan, institutions are funding terrorism sponsored by the Pakistani government. Moving on. Pakistan has continued to take stringent action against Afghan refugees and has now suspended further visa extensions amid the ongoing nationwide crackdown and mass deportations of illegal migrants. According to Afghan news agency Khama Press, Afghan migrants with documents such as the Afghan citizen cards and proof of registration cards were earlier eligible for visa renewals, but with the complete suspension of visa extension, the latest move by Pakistani authorities has left thousands of Afghans in a state of anxiety and confusion. The international community and human rights organizations have raised alarm over the situation. Islamabad launched a major repatriation campaign against Afghan migrants in November 2023, sending over 1.3 million people back to the country along with individuals residing in Pakistan with valid identification. Earlier, citing an improved security situation, last week, the US also announced that temporary protected status for Afghanistan would expire on May 20th. And amid rising trade tensions, the interim government in Bangladesh has called for dialogue with India following new restrictions on imports via land ports. Sheikh Basuruddin, commerce advisor to the interim government, said Bangladesh is open to resolving issues through discussion. We believe in liberal trade, he told reporters. The curbs imposed by India's Ministry of Commerce and Industry affect goods worth nearly $770 million, around 42% of total bilateral imports, and apply to ready-made garments, snacks, beverages, cotton waste, plastic goods and wooden furniture. Imports of these products are now limited to seaports like Nhava Sheva and Kolkata. India's move is widely seen as a response to earlier restrictions by Bangladesh on Indian yarn, rice and other goods, as well as its decision to impose transit fees on Indian cargo. Bangladesh had previously banned Indian yarn ports via land and faced the cancellation of transshipment facilities by India. The standoff marks a shift from the traditionally cooperative trade ties between the two neighbors. Moving on. 16 years have passed since Sri Lanka's civil war concluded in May 2009. Yet, Tamil women continue to seek justice for the atrocities they endured during the conflict, the Human Rights Watch has stated. The rights watchdog reported that these women, many of whom suffered sexual violence, enforced disappearances of loved ones and displacement, have seen little accountability for the crimes committed against them. Despite the establishment of multiple commissions by the Sri Lankan government to address wartime abuses, the victims and survivors have expressed frustration over the lack of meaningful outcomes. The Human Rights Watch, in its report, criticized the government's new transitional justice process, stating it lacks credibility and fails to address the needs of victims. International organizations, including the UN and Amnesty International, have highlighted the ongoing impunity for wartime atrocities. They urge the Sri Lankan government to take concrete steps towards accountability and justice for victims. As the country marked the 16th anniversary of the war's end on May 18th, Tamil women and their communities continue to call for truth, justice and reparations, emphasizing that reconciliation is impossible without addressing past abuses. At Nepal's flagship Sagarmata Samvad, held in Kathmandu, Vice Chairman of the Standing Committee of China, Zhao Ji, stirred controversy by repeatedly referring to Mount Everest as Chomolungma, its Chinese name, during his keynote speech. The event, titled after the Nepali name for Everest, Sagarmata, is a global dialogue platform, with Samvad meaning dialogue in Nepali. Zhao mentioned Chomolungma 10 times in his 20-minute address, diverging from the event's official branding. Other dignitaries, including Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Foreign Minister Arzu Rana Dyoba, refrained from commenting. The choice of words came shortly after PM Oli publicly emphasized branding the peak as Sagarmata. The three-day summit gathered over 200 participants, including officials from India, China, Japan, and representatives from the UN, World Bank, SAARC, and others. Despite attempts, Nepal's foreign ministry did not offer an official response on the controversy. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.